Today I'm going to show you how you can make this gorgeous long sleeve ruffle top. For this tutorial, we're going to be using our pattern you can find on freelease.com. If you're looking for trendy, affordable, and easy to make sewing patterns, you've come to the right place. Gabrielle is made with stretchy fabric and it is a really fun sewing project. So if you're ready to make this gorgeous top, let's begin. After cutting out all of our pattern pieces, we're going to start off by laying your front and back panels with the right sides facing each other. Make sure to align the side edges and shoulder seams and pin them in place. You are then going to stitch with a 1 cm seam allowance using a zigzag stitch or a straight stitch. I highly recommend using a zigzag stitch when using stretchy fabric. Now we're going to be moving onto the neck ruffle. You first need to cut the neck ruffle pattern piece. Now grab the 2 ruffle pieces you just cut and measure your bodice neckline with the ruffle pieces. You can pin the ruffle in place for a more precise measurement. Now that you can see that you have a few inches left over, you're going to cut them off. Now you can sew front and back of your ruffles. I used a French seam for a more polished look. Basically, a French seam is when you first sew the fabric pieces facing wrong sides together. Then you'll trim the seam allowance and now fold it right sides together and sew again. That means the raw edge inside will be enclosed. Now you're going to make the hem for the neck ruffle. You can make a double rolled hem to finish the raw edges. First you need to fold the edge, stitch, and then fold it up again and stitch again. And that's how you make a double rolled hem. Now you're going to work with the wrong size of the bodice facing up. You're now going to pin the 2 ruffle pieces, which is now only 1 ruffle piece, so that the right side of the ruffle is facing the wrong side of the bodice. You are going to stitch it in place. Remember, every stitch we're making here is with a zigzag stitch. It allows your fabric to stretch along with you when you wear the clothes. Now that the neckline is attached to the bodice, I like cutting a few notches around the seam. This facilitates flipping the neckline. And when you flip it inside out, it'll lay much nicer on your chest than if you don't do the notches. Now we're going to stitch the seam allowance onto the bodice. This helps the neckline not to be rolling over. Once you've done all that, remember to use your iron to press down the neckline. This way it'll look flat and a lot nicer. And this is how your neckline should be looking by now. Now let's get the sleeves ready. Take both your sleeve panels and fold them in half, just like I'm showing you in the video. The right side of the fabric should be inside. You're now going to pin it in place. Stitch the sides, leaving a 1 cm seam allowance. And remember to finish off the edges using a zigzag stitch. Now for the sleeve cuffs, you're going to do the same thing. Fold them in half and make sure the right side of the fabric is inside. You're going to pin it in place and then stitch it. Remember to leave a 1 cm seam allowance and to finish off the edges with a serger or a zigzag stitch. You are almost done with your Gabrielle top. It's time to attach the cuffs to the sleeves. So, with the sleeve on the right side, slide the sleeve into the cuffs and pin the edges of the sleeve with the one of the cuffs. Make sure to match the side seam of the cuff with the side seam of the sleeve. You can now sew it, leaving a 1 cm seam allowance, and finish the raw edges as well. This is how your sleeve should look after you turn it inside out. Now let's hem the sleeves. I made a double rolled hem just like the one for the neck ruffle. So fold it up, stitch, fold it up again and stitch again. Remember to press the seam to make it look much nicer and polished. Okay, since our sleeves are ready, we're going to attach them to the bodice. Make sure to align the sleeve cap with the armhole of the bodice. Match the notches in the pattern and pin them in place. The sleeve cap has a slight ease. When you sew the sleeve into the armhole, distribute this ease by gently easing the fabric in, ensuring a smooth and comfortable fit. Don't forget to use a zigzag stitch. After doing so, remember to finish the raw edges as well. Now we just have to finish the hem of the top. You can do so however you'd like, but I made a double rolled hem, just like the ones I've been doing along the rest of the video. And now you're completely done with your Gabrielle top. Remember, you can find this and many more patterns on our website.